For years, Filipino food was one of the best-kept secrets in the culinary world. It was loved at home, cherished by families, and served proudly at fiestas. But outside the Philippines, it was often overlooked, hidden in the shadows of Japanese sushi, Chinese dim sum, Thai curries, and Korean barbecue. People didn't talk about it. They didn't search for it. They didn't even know what it was. But something has changed. Suddenly, the world is waking up. Suddenly, restaurants from New York to London to Dubai are filled with dishes like adobo, sinigang, and lechon. Suddenly, magazines, chefs, and food critics are praising Filipino flavors. And by the end of this story, you will understand why the world has fallen in love with Filipino food, and why this love is only just beginning. The hook is simple. Filipino food is not just delicious. It is different. It is bold. It is unexpected. And it tells a story that no other cuisine can tell. When you taste it, you are tasting a history of colonization, trade, migration, survival, and creativity. Every bite is a chapter of the Filipino journey, and that is why it resonates with people everywhere. Let's start with adobo, the unofficial national dish. Chicken or pork simmered slowly in soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, bay leaves, and peppercorns. Simple ingredients that blend into something rich, tangy, salty, and comforting. Adobo is more than food. It is a memory. Every Filipino family has their own version. Every province adds its own twist. And when foreigners try it, they are shocked that something so simple can taste so layered. It is the kind of dish that sticks with you, the kind you crave again and again. And that is why adobo is often the first step for outsiders falling in love with Filipino cuisine. But Filipino food is much more than one dish. Take sinigang, a sour soup made with tamarind, tomatoes, and vegetables, sometimes with pork, sometimes with shrimp or fish. It is tangy, refreshing, and comforting all at once. Unlike anything many Western palates are used to, yet strangely addictive. When people taste it for the first time, their faces light up with surprise, because sour is not a flavor usually celebrated in soups, but in the Philippines, it is a flavor that defines home. And now it is defining Filipino food for the rest of the world. Then there's lechon, whole roasted pig cooked slowly over charcoal until the skin is crisp and golden and the meat is juicy and tender. This dish has been called the best roast pig in the world by Anthony Bourdain, one of the most famous food travelers, and when he said that, the world listened. Suddenly everyone wanted to know what lechon was. Suddenly everyone wanted to taste it, and that one endorsement helped open the door for Filipino food on the global stage. Halo. Halo is another revelation, a dessert unlike any other. A mix of crushed ice, sweetened beans, jellies, fruit, leche flan, purple yam, and ice cream. Colorful, chaotic, and delicious. Halo represents the spirit of the Philippines itself, a mix of influences, a mix of cultures, a mix of flavors, somehow working together in harmony. When foreigners see it for the first time, they are confused. But when they taste it, they are delighted. And social media has made Halo a viral star. Its bright colors perfect for Instagram, its taste perfect for winning hearts. So why now? Why has Filipino food suddenly become popular when it has existed for centuries? One answer is the Filipino diaspora. Millions of Filipinos living abroad have been quietly sharing their food with neighbors, co-workers, and friends. Every potluck, every office party, every birthday gathering introduced someone new to pancit noodles, lumpia spring rolls, or kare-kare peanut stew. Slowly, curiosity grew. Slowly, interest spread. And now the seeds planted by decades of overseas Filipinos are bearing fruit. The world has acquired a taste for their food. Another answer is the rise of global food culture. People today are more adventurous than ever. They want authenticity. They want hidden gems. They want to try what they have never tried before. The internet has broken borders. YouTube videos, TikTok clips, and Instagram posts have shown people what Filipino food looks like, how it is cooked, how it is eaten. Food bloggers and influencers travel to the Philippines, taste the dishes, and tell millions of followers about them. Suddenly, what was once unknown is now trending. Suddenly, what was once ignored is now desired. Chefs have also played a huge role. Second-generation Filipino Americans, Canadians, and Europeans who grew up eating adobo and sinigang are now trained in fine dining and bringing those childhood flavors into Michelin-starred kitchens. They are reinventing Filipino food, presenting it with elegance while keeping its soul intact. Restaurants like Bad Saint in Washington, D.C., or Jollibee chains across North America have introduced Filipino flavors to mainstream audiences, both in high-end and fast food formats, showing that Filipino food can succeed at every level. Filipino food also fits the modern moment perfectly, because it is comfort food at its core. It is hearty, communal, and made for sharing. In a world that feels increasingly divided, people crave meals that bring them together. And Filipino food does exactly that. Almost every dish is meant for family-style eating, with rice at the center, and everyone sharing from big plates. This resonates with people searching for connection, for belonging, for warmth. And when they experience it, they fall in love not just with the food, but with the feeling that comes with it. Another reason is variety. Filipino food is incredibly diverse. With over 7,000 islands, every region has its specialties. Bicol is famous for spicy coconut milk dishes, Ilocos for crispy bagnet and empanadas, Pampanga for sisig made from sizzling pork, Visayas for seafood, and Mindanao for dishes influenced by Muslim and Malay traditions. This diversity means there is always something new to discover, always another flavor to surprise you. And for global audiences, this makes Filipino food endlessly exciting. History also plays a role. Filipino cuisine is a fusion of influences from centuries of contact. Malay traders brought spices, Chinese migrants introduced noodles and soy sauce, Spanish colonizers brought tomatoes, garlic, and the tradition of stews. Americans introduced canned goods, hot dogs, and fast food. All of these influences merged with indigenous traditions to create something unique, something that feels familiar, yet different. When foreigners taste Filipino food, they sense flavors they know, but in combinations they never imagined, and that makes it both comforting and adventurous at the same time. Media has amplified this shift. Food shows featuring the Philippines have increased. Travel documentaries highlight the country's culinary treasures, and every time a celebrity praises a dish, the world pays attention. When Anthony Bourdain praised lechon, when Andrew Zimmern praised balut as daring and symbolic, when YouTubers film themselves eating boodle fights with their hands, these moments spread Filipino food to new audiences and create curiosity that leads to love. The affordability of Filipino food also helps. Compared to other cuisines, Filipino dishes are often budget-friendly, large portions meant for sharing, inexpensive ingredients elevated through technique. This makes it accessible, approachable, and perfect for casual dining. In cities like Los Angeles, Toronto, or London, people can try Filipino food without breaking the bank, and once they taste it, they come back. Perhaps the biggest secret behind the world's love for Filipino food is the people themselves. Filipinos don't just cook meals. They cook love, they cook hospitality, they cook joy. When foreigners are invited into a Filipino home and fed dishes like tinola chicken soup, lying taro leaves in coconut milk, or turon banana spring rolls, they don't just remember the flavors, they remember the laughter, the smiles, the generosity. And when they leave, they carry that memory with them, spreading the word that Filipino food is something special. The story of Filipino food's rise is still being written. It is not yet as mainstream as Chinese, Japanese, or Thai food, but its momentum is unstoppable. The diaspora keeps spreading it. The internet keeps amplifying it. Chefs keep reinventing it. And global audiences keep falling in love with it. In the next decade, Filipino food could become one of the major cuisines of the world, standing proudly alongside the giants. And when that happens, it will not be a trend. It will be a recognition long overdue. And so when we ask why the world suddenly loves Filipino food, the answer is many things at once. It is the bold flavors of adobo, sinigang, and lechon. It is the creativity of halo. It is the diversity of 7,000 islands. It is the history of fusion and survival. It is the power of the diaspora, the reach of media, the passion of chefs, the affordability of meals, and above all, it is the warmth of the Filipino spirit, because food is never just about taste. It is about story, and Filipino food tells one of the greatest stories ever told. A story of resilience, of community, of joy, and of love. And now the world is listening. The world is tasting. The world is falling in love. And this love is here to stay. Because once you taste the Philippines, you never forget it. And once you feel the spirit behind the food, you understand why Filipino cuisine has finally stepped into the spotlight, not as a trend, not as a curiosity, but as one of the most powerful, comforting, and delicious culinary traditions in the world.